So, sorry about that. What I'm going to do is edit my sources and let you know who designed these two things. And then we're going to jump into Tinkercad here and we're going to create a new design. So I'm going to get that up and I'm going to get that going. So there's our new design. All right, so the Apex Legends Death Box, and it's rad because it's hinged and it's got the lift top and everything. So this is going to make a really cool vessel for the game holder. And that is Johnny O 85. So let's go back over here to our sources. And we are going to edit this. And what we're going to say is JONNY O 85. And then we'll put a couple of those. And then the game holder EECY CADE 2100. And what I can do is put these on my page later and give them links so you can just link right to them and go in, or I can tweet those out however we want to do that. I'll figure that out. All right, gonna hit done. So now those sources are up there so you can see who made these. And now what I'm gonna do is start combining these in the CAD program. So I'm going to go right over here to Tinkercad, and I've loaded up just a new design, and I'm going to go over here to import, and I'm going to start pulling these models in. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to fire up, get the 3D printer going. You should see the 3D printer in this. Oh, you do not see that view. Well, that's a bummer. Let's get that back. Looks like right here. It has stopped streaming, so we're going to make sure that we get that back. And can we see that? No, I think once it goes to sleep, it's dead in the water. So let's pull that back up. Come back in. Hopefully we see that back up there. We're going to dismiss that. And there it is. Okay, sorry about that. On the fly, live. That is down here. You should be able to see the 3D cam. So again, I'll point to it. This is the 3D printer. There's a model on there right now. And this is the computer that runs it. And as you can see, the video screen directly below me is also the studios. So this is Multiverse Studios. We're going to do a lot of projects in here. So whether it's 3D printing or music or designing or working on bikes or building things or fixing things, we're going to do a lot here. So I'm excited to kick this off with a little bit of print and play. And we're going to choose a file here back to the main screen, and I can get this back here. We need to import our two models. So we are going to start by choosing a file. We'll go to our downloads, and if we search by date modified, there should be the first two. And let's open up. Yes, of course, that's not going to work because they are still zip files. So let's unzip those. That just means they are sort of all compressed up into one little file. So we're going to extract. Yep. And then we'll pull everything out. There's those files. And then we're going to extract the game holder as well. And we'll just show it right there in the downloads folder. So then we can go back to Tinkercad, import, and let's find those. So there's the death box. Let's open that first. And now it comes in multiple parts here. So we're going to check out what we have. We have bottom, latch, plate, top. Looks like there's a, this is probably the full, let's see. I don't know how we can like view it without, because we're technically in the open screen right now. But it looks like this is probably just the full box. Without the lid. This is the bottom with it hinged. This is the top hinged version 3. Bottom lift top lift. Aha, so you can just lift it off. You can hinge it. And I bet if we went back to his website, that would probably tell us right there. So let's do, probably the hinge will be the most complicated mechanism. So I'm thinking the lift would be good if it's a tight fit and it keeps the games locked in there. And of course, with 3D printing, you usually print one, prototype it, test it out, do it again. So we'll try that. So we're going to do the lift-off version as opposed to the hinged version. So let's start with the bottom here. We're going to open that up and we're going to import that in. And it's going to import this STL, which is Tinkercad loves STLs and OBJs. Those are the two main formats it works in. So there it is. There's our Apex Death Box. Awesome design by Johnny O, and it's even got his name in there. And it's designed to 3D print, which means it shouldn't need supports. It shouldn't need any real tweaking of your printer settings. You should be able to just pop it on the print bed and hit print because he designed it to 3D print. And as you can see, there's a lot of information here about how we did it. There's a version 3. You know, they've been through a few versions themselves. All right. So at the same time, let's just import the top while we're at it, just to have it on our build here, and we are going to say top lift version 3. So we're going to open that up and import it in just to see what that looks like. And so there you see the top, and again that will 3D print. Those are probably 45-degree angles there, so we won't need any supports on our printer, and we're just going to print that right off. The reason I have this here is just in case our switch holder, we need to modify the size. I'm going to have to modify these to be the exact size, right? So finally, let's pull in the switch game holder by EasyCade 2100. So thank you for that model. Let's import this. And let's go back up into our switch files. Game holder. We're going to import that again at 100%. We don't want to change any of the dimensions because of that, of course, would make it so the switch games wouldn't fit. This has been measured by EasyCade to exactly fit the games, and there it is. It has a Nintendo logo on the side. What we're going to do is we're going to drop this into here. And so obviously we need to rotate that. Now if you move your mouse down here, you'll notice, I'm not on the Mac. If I could zoom in a little, you'll notice there's these arrows, right? And those arrows bring up 360 degrees, and then of course you can rotate it by those degrees. If you stay inside the lines, it'll jump to those preset markings, and if you want complete control, you can move it over the lines, and of course it'll tell you the degrees there as you're moving it, right? Well, we don't want to move it on that axis. We want to actually rotate it this way. So we'll go down here, and there's those. And we're going to just do a rotate. All right. And as you can see, it fits perfectly inside of this box, this death box here. And what we can even do is we can combine them in a line so that they're perfectly in the center. So I'm going to choose this model. I'm going to hold shift and choose this model, and I'm going to click align, and I want to center them that way. Let me zoom out a little bit for you. These dots, do you want to center it, right center, left center? I picked right in the middle, and then on this axis as well, right in the middle. So I want to make sure that these again are right in the middle. And now when we pull off the top of the death box, that should be in there. Now you can see that it kind of pops through the bottom here, and if we wanted to kind of fix that, and we still have some room to play. As you can see, there's still some room right in here. So what we can do is, by selecting this switch holder, we can bring this up just so it's out of view. But what does it look like now inside of there? And so what we can do is kind of turn this into a hole and look. And we can see, unfortunately, It's just kind of floating up there. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to drop it back down. Oops. Now see what I did was I just moved the death box, which I didn't want to do, and not the switch. So I'm going to go up here and just choose undo. So I'm going to undo that move, turn that back into a solid. And then I'm going to get my switch holder. And because it's kind of hovering in there, that's going to add some complexity to the print. It's going to make it want to add supports probably. So what I'm going to do is drop it down just a smidge right there. So it's actually connecting. And what I think that should do is kind of make it so we don't need supports. And if we look at the side here, now, I'm not sure how far the switch cartridges stick up, and if we go over here and we look at the bottom of our lid, there is a little bit of an incline there. So it might make it that these switch games can't actually fit with the lid on because there's not enough room. And if we go back here, we can see from his picture that they do. They stick up rather a couple, I'd say 5 to 8 millimeters above that. And I don't think we have that built into our ceiling, right? But maybe we do. And the way we can find out is we can just see how high this is. So again, we're going to turn this into a hole. And we're going to bring the box over here. And what I'd just like to do is just to lower this, whoops, we're going to undo that. Lower this down until we're about under. So that's about, you're getting about, now let's see, we're still, so we're going to lower this till it goes into the roof, which is right there. That's about 12. So we got about 12 millimeters in our lid. And of course we've got, I don't know, like 2 or 3 here. So that'd be about 14 millimeters. And I'm just eyeballing this, but I'm guessing we're going to have enough. And you know what? If we don't, we just print it again, right? Make some changes. So, and then also, if you guys, when I put this on Twitter and I post this, if you guys have other ideas about changes you want to see or things you want me to do to this model, perfect. We'll pull it back up, we'll make changes, and we'll print it out. So we're going to give this a name while we're at it. We're going to call this Apex Death Switch Box. Switch. There it is. All right. And technically we don't need this lid because we're just going to pull that onto the print bed from the original file. We don't need this goofy thing. Well, the one thing we need to do is combine these two into one piece, right? Because they need to come together over to the printer. So I'm going to choose this piece and this. And I'm going to use this command up here called group, and that's going to make them one. And so we group that, and now that is one thing. And what I probably could do is spend a little bit of time and add, you know, slots for probably 2 more games in here. That might be something we add in the next version. So what we're going to do now is we're going to export this out of Tinkercad into an STL file that we can just drop over here on our printer bed. So I'm going to choose export. And as you can see, you have a couple choices here. We want obviously the shape we've selected, and we want that to be an STL, which is what our Lulzbot uses. So our Lulzbot mini slicer will just take an STL and print that out. So we're going to use that option, and there it goes down there. Okay. Now, what we need to do, and let me pull this studio back up for you. What we need to do now is our printer is connected to this laptop over here. I know it's a little complicated, but I kind of have like one computer to run each thing. That's just how I do it. I keep everything kind of doing its job as opposed to overloading one computer with a bunch of stuff. So I have this old laptop here. It runs the 3D printer software just fine. And so it's just become the 3D printing laptop. It's a MacBook running Mac OS. And the software we use is called Cura, C-U-R-A. And I'm going to start that software now and get it pulled up. The one thing I have to do is I have to get the files from this computer, the PC I'm working on, over to this laptop. So there's a number of ways we could do that. We could put it on a USB drive and move it over, which might be the quickest. We could do Dropbox. We could do any. I'm going to use Google Drive. Multiverse Studios has a Google Drive, and it's pulled up on both computers. So what's easiest for me is to drop it in the Dropbox or the Google Drive here, and it pops up over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Google Drive. All right. And what we're going to do is make a new folder. We're going to call this Apex Switch 3D. All right, perfect. And we're going to create that folder. And in that folder, we're going to put the file that we just exported from Tinkercad, right? So we're gonna put this file into our Google Drive. And so that would be in downloads because it downloaded from Tinkercad. So we're going to find it right in there. And there it is, our 3D object. So I'm going to drop that over and boom, now it's in there. One day Google will figure out how to make a preview other than a little cube, but we know what it is, it's there. So now I'm going to go over here to this laptop. I'm going to go to Google Drive and I'm going to pull it back down and throw it on the printer. What we also need to do while we're at it is put the lid in there that we're going to use. So in our Apex Death Box that we downloaded, there's the top, and remember we're going to use the lift-off version. So I'm going to pull the lift version over to here. All right, and so now we have our top and we have our bottom with the switch in it. Awesome. And what I'm going to do now is we'll close this out. And once again, thank you to EasyCade2100 for the design of the switch holder. You saved me a lot of time not having to measure it myself and make all the same calculations that you've already made. So thank you for your time, and I really appreciate that. And let's, I probably didn't want to close that because I wanted to save those links for you. And I also want to thank Johnny085. He has a lot of work on here as well. And as you can see, if we go to his designs, he's got a bunch of designs. So he's a really good designer, great artist. And I want to thank him for all of the work in detail that went into this death box, because this is going to be awesome. All right, so we're going to pull that down, pull this down, and let's get Apex up. And while we do that, I'm going to go over here to this laptop, and I'm going to download those files, and we'll get those over on to the printer. All right, so we're going to launch Chrome. All right, we're going to go to Google Drive. Okay, and we're going to take our little octopus off of our printer. I don't know if you can see him. He's pretty cool. And this is just, I print a lot of these with different settings, and I try to, it's kind of like my calibration model. So I like to calibrate using the Lulzbot Roctopus, just because I'm super familiar how it should look and the layers and everything. And so when I get new filament or try out new settings, I always print one of these guys, and then I can compare, and I write on the bottom the filament or settings I used, and that helps me keep track. So for this filament right here, this was the best model I had, using the settings for verbatim. We'll get into that later. Okay, so let me get into my Google Drive here. Okay. Now here's the Multiverse Studios Google Drive. And I can then go in here. I see the Apex Switch 3D folder. Perfecto. And then I see the two models. So we're going to select both of these using the Shift key, and we are going to download them. And of course now they're going to download into the laptop, and then we can pull them up in our software. Perfect, 2 files zipped. And what we're going to do is we're going to view the bookmark bar. Thank you. That way we can make sure we have our Google Drive up here. We should be able to get right to it. Yes. All right. Perfect. So now we're going to get out of Chrome, mostly because this computer has very limited RAM. So Chrome and the 3D printing software, I like to just run one at a time. So we're going to get rid of Chrome, and we're going to come back to the software. Now, the software is called Cura, C-U-R-A. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to show you this really quick. We'll get back to Apex in a second here. And I'm going to show you Lulzbot. This is the printer we use. And so let's pull up their website. And what I'm going to do is go here over to Downloads. And we're going to go to Cura. Where are you at? There it is. Okay, so you could probably just type in Cura Lulzbot if you have a Lulzbot printer. If you don't have a Lulzbot printer, you can still use Cura with Ultimaker printers, lots of different essentially it's open source and it runs on like hundreds of printers. So Cura is very popular. This is a version that Lulzbot curates with settings specifically for their printers, so you know that they've tested it and come up with the best settings to get the best prints. So as you can see, let's see, version 3.6.8 is the newest version. It comes on Mac, Windows, Linux. Of course, I use the Mac version. We are running version 3.6.3, so we're close enough for right now. Okay, and what you can see here is, I'll just leave this on the screen. And what I probably need is a video input for this laptop over there as well, but hopefully you can see it from that view. I'm just going to say open a file, and alright, I'm going to clear off everything here. Alright, so I'm going to say open a file, and we're going to go right to our downloads here. And I always search by date added, because obviously everything we're looking for was probably added today. And I don't see it. Although I do see it right. Wait, no, I don't. Oh, shoot. I must have canceled it before it finished. That was dumb. Because look, it says drive down. Alright. Let's go back. Let's go back to Google Drive. My bad. And we'll go back into our Apex Switch folder. Let's just maybe download these one at a time here. So I'm going to download that. Apex, sorry, got that. What? Are you kidding? What? It says I signed out. Let's try this again. Always slight technical difficulties when you're dealing with computers, especially older computers. This is a 2010 MacBook, so it's coming up soon on its 10-year anniversary. So let's try this again. All right, we're opening up our Google Drive one more time. We're going to get our box here. We're going to download it. And if you remember, when I started this, I said it's probably the quickest to just USB drive it. However, I'd have to climb back behind the desk, and but maybe I just need a little flash drive or, USB drive hub right here in front of me so I can pop it real quick. It's probably a better idea. But this will work for now, plus it's archived now in Google Drive if I need to grab it somewhere else. All right, so we're going to get out of Chrome here. And now we are going to open these back up. And there is our bottom. So I'm going to pull that up. And as you can see, well, you can't see, it just barely fits on our table here. So that is perfect. We are just going to move it backwards a little bit to make room for the lid. All right. Then we're going to open the lid. And there we have it. Perfecto. It almost makes me wonder if I'm supposed to flip the lid around upside down and print it. But with that detail on the buckle. Here, let's go back to this window and see if it says anything about printing. Oh, wait, he does a Twitch too. Zombie Makerspace. Let's pull that up. Can we have Twitchception? Oh, wow. All right, cool. Well, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I follow. Perfect. Oh, look, and he printed some too. Dang. All right, cool. Johnny085, Zombie Makerspace. I will definitely make a post to this Twitch stream I'm doing. And, wow, this is cool. We'll definitely have to check this out. You've got some really cool videos. You got a bunch of them here. Oh, man. All sorts of cool things. Okay, cool. Well, we're definitely going to check that out in a little more detail a little bit later. Okay. What we have now is Cura is pulled up. It has the lid and the box. And what I'm going to do over here now is go through the settings and, of course, the material. I said what worked best by my print calibrations was the settings for the verbatim PLA. I'm using PLA from a company called Inland, which is you can purchase online. It's about $15 a spool. So it's what I use to just print off random stuff. It's not my highest quality stuff, but it works great. So I'm using that, and what I found is the verbatim settings work best, and this is at standard speed. And let's just check out how much it's going to take to print this. Now it'll give us the time and the length of material. We have plenty of length, that's a ton. Let's just see what it's going to take for time. All right, that's 7 hours and 12 minutes. So clearly that is a super long print. And if we look under here, we'll notice it is not building supports under that lid. So that is awesome. All right, and we can get that up. Now what we'll do is we will tell it to print via USB, because obviously we want that. And we're going to shoot it over to our printer. Okay, we're going to connect up to our printer. All right. Connected via USB. Knows all the temperatures. We are good there. Right on. Okay. Now, what we should be able to do is click on this. And instead of save to file, we should be able to say save or, print directly to the printer. But it's giving me this weird, let's see if we go full screen, if that changes things. There it is. Weird graphic glitch. And we're going to say print via USB. When we do that, it's going to shoot over. And now, as you can see, and we can get this up close, the printer is starting its calibration. And what I'll do is see if we can pull that up a little closer here. And we can get that right in to view. And let me be right back. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this bed with some IPA. Alright, let that evaporate off and give that a good surface to clean on. And then what I also like to do is make sure I clean the tip real good as it's going through this process right here, which is pulling out the filament before the calibration. And I just want to make sure that tip is nice and clean. Alright, and we're good to go there. Alright. Now, let's see if we can't, on the fly, add a new scene called 3D printer. And let's see if we can't do this on the fly. No, that wasn't good. Let's pull that back up. Alright, now it's going through its calibration. What we are going to do is I want to go back here really quick, and I want to look for Nintendo Switch. I want to find EasyCade's game holder and make sure that's back up so I can link to that as well. Oh boy. Bzz, 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 bzz. Let's do this. Nintendo Switch game. There we go. There it is. Alright. Let's make sure that is up there as well. And let's see what he has also done. He's probably done some... He's got one design, alright. You have some good skill. I'm excited to see what you got coming up next. So we are going to get rid of that. We're going to pull this down. We're going to jump into some Apex. We're going to get a few games of Apex going while our printer prints out. And then when the stream ends, when I come back, on the next stream, this will be done. We'll pull it off the print bed. We'll check it out in good detail, and we'll see if we need to make any changes. We'll test some games in it, and we'll go from there. Right on. So, what we have going here is a little bit of Apex Legends. If you do play it, you can find me in the game. My name is Multiverse, which is the name of this channel. Add me as a friend, and we'll go win some games. I have a handful of wins, I must say. It's one of my favorite games. I love Battle Royales. I play a lot of PUBG, a lot of Fortnite. For some reason, I like this the most, probably because of how fast it is. It's just super rapid, and the weapons are cool. The abilities are fun. I like the teams of 3. The map is fun, and of course, I love Pathfinder because I love to just grapple around and move around. And if I can't get Pathfinder, I usually go for Octane because I really like that increased movement speed. So we will get this loaded up, and we're going to go over here and look again at our print. And as you can see, our print right now, what it just did is the outlines of the pieces. And so it looks like we have the outline of the box itself right here. And so it looks like the thing closest to us is the top, the lid. Oh my gosh. The Apex servers have been down all day yesterday, so I couldn't do this stream yesterday. I've never seen this before. Code 408, matchmaking server. Check your internet. I mean, I'm streaming at 60 frames per second, 60 megabit connection out of 120 some, so yeah. I know EA servers have been hit lately. Well, this makes for an awkward print and play. Thanks. Hey, listen, I'm sure it's incredibly super complicated that I'm unimaginably to run servers like this. So for a free game, I get it. I'm sure it's not their fault. Everything runs on the backbone of Electronic Arts servers. That's probably what's happening right now. We can go check the EA Help Twitter, which I'm very familiar with, because as I've been trying to do this stream, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is like everything down right now? Uh-oh. Whale. Whale, whale, whale. Let's see what happens. Probably my fault. I mean, it looks like the stream is still up. So what I'm assuming is happening is the internet here. Let's see what's going on. Everything looks good. Well, that's not what I want. I want like the real settings. There it is. Let's get into these properties here. There we go. Now, one thing I did was changed its... let's put it back into auto mode. I may mess that up. See what happens. What I did was I forced it to be in 802.11 and ACA mode, just to get the faster speeds, because it kept dropping down to 802.11 like GN speeds. So whatevs, we're back on. All right, let's see. ESPN looking good. Twitter, my fault. And then let's go back to Apex. It's pulled up. All right. Let's look back at our print here while this is going on. It has started the second piece, which is the bottom. It finished the first layer of the lid, and now we're working on that. So it looks good. And it looks like it might be building supports. We have to dig out. We might have to dig out the top of the lid, or I could just flip it when we print it. That might be better. But hey, it's 7 hours. We're just gonna let it do its thing and see what happens. So let's get into a little bit of Apex here. That is better. As you can see down here on my gear list, this is a Lulzbot 3D printer. Cura is the software I used to slice it all up. Inland Filament is the brand of filament I use, the material that's printing. And of course I used Thingiverse to find the models, and I used Tinkercad to combine those together into the current model that's printing now. And like I said, it's going to be at about a 7-hour and 12-minute print. Nobody wants to sit here and watch that the whole time, so I want to play some Apex games. I got to get out of here a little after 3 for an appointment, and then we'll be back and we'll check out the print when it's all done, and we'll go from there. So again, if you're playing Apex and you see me in the game, my name is Multiverse. The E is a 3, and go ahead and friend me, and we'll play some games together and get some wins. So here we go. Let's just dive into our first game and see what happens. I'm going to throw on the old headphones here. We got the mic. And I have been saving this Apex pack for the stream. Oh, Siri just recorded that whole thing. That is so weird. Very good. I hope I wasn't like texting anyone. Oh, you're gonna steal my Pathfinder. That's alright. I will take the Octane. It's alright. As long as I get one of those two.
I can win this thing with one eye closed.
I guess Wraith would be my third choice. But you get addicted to that quick travel. Oh boy, Hammer Steel, 20 wins. Armando, bunch of kills.
Pain, death.
Alright. Let's find that Wraith and take her out. Alright. I'm guessing Hammer Steel is like by far the best player. He wants to land a bunker. Alright. And we're off. See you in bunker. I got alcohol, isopropyl alcohol over my hands. Let's get that off. Okay. Here we go. I mean, he is... I do not see... Good. Oh, that was nice of him to leave me this room. You don't see that very often.
Round one.
Not our first worm. Bamboozle him. Already in the next ring. I smell victory. Backpack here. Level 2.
Yeah, I'll take that. And a flatline instead of an RE45. Any day of the week.
That champion didn't really intimidate me.
Should we thank him?
New kill leader.
Turn
Soon
that
to be
up a little.
me. Light ammo here.
Alright, I always put my close range weapons second. We got Hemlock, no thank you.
Attention. The kill leader has been eliminated.
Must go faster.
Alright. Oh, he's already been here. Alright, let's go up here. Already been here. Alright. Let's go down here. Looks like he's already been here, too. Shoot. Oof. Or someone has. And we're right smack dab in the old... Yeah, I need to range around that, but that's good. Where you at? Alright. Let's go this way. Alright. My first fully unlooted building. I'm real excited. Be something good. I needed that. That and that. Take it. Alright. Not see anyone that way. Let's hit it. Let's hit it!
Thank you.
Oh,
Half the squads are toast.
silly. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, I hear a little robot guy.
She got bamboozled.
No.
She's fast like me. I can use that. Backpack here. Level 2. Zipline deployed.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to. I was done. Man, I don't hear a soul.
Already using grapple. New kill leader. Show off. Ready, set, go.
Going up top. Gonna hit up those bridges. Up there. Yeah. Nice. See what we got.
Syringe here. Incoming care package. I love loot.
Yes. We are gonna go longbow. Ooh, I kind of want the carbine instead. I don't know. I like that carbine a lot better. I think. But I also like being able to pop people with the longbow. So we're going to stick with that for a minute.
Setting up a zip line.
Oh, dude is way out ham of steel. Alright. Coming.
It's go time.
Find some action. Let's go. How's that print doing down there? Good.
Gotta hop up here. Turbocharger.
Round 2. Beginning ring countdown. Attention. Supply ship inbound.
Oh, I like that.
Enemies have been here.
So that's up.
Loud and clear.
Ooh. Sniper stock. Holy shit.
I'm down. No bueno.
Man, I was so... Oh, shit. Shoot. I thought that was my own... Oh, man.
Target's right in front of me.
All that looting for darn tootin' nothing. Shoot. A whole 0.
Body shield here. Level 2. You need one if you don't have
Sorry. Oh, man, that was bad. Yeah, I know he said people had been here before. So I was just assuming what he meant was he saw like an open supply box or something. Not, they were literally standing 10 feet away. So when I saw that Pathfinder out there, I initially thought that was our Pathfinder real quick. I mean, shoot. Anyways, sorry about that. We're closing in on 1 hour. My Apex has decided to not Apex anymore. So you know what? We're going to pull this back up. I'm not offline. Am I offline? Who knows anymore? No? Things are loading. Alright. I definitely remember Jack and Mega Man from yesterday. We played when the servers got back on. I played, but I didn't have enough time to do the stream. But I played with those two guys, Mega Man Transfer, Mega Man X0, and Jack Mantra 10. It's cool guys. So thank you for playing. We just hit 1 hour. I have a 3 o'clock appointment. So what I'm going to do, an hour is a nice little thing. This is kind of my first real stream. So what I'm going to do is cap it here at an hour. And then we're going to come back when this print is done. So let me pull up the print for us here. Let's get in there. As you can see, that print looks really good. So far, so good. So we're going to pop that back up. We're going to close that in. Alright. And what I'm going to do is set up my iPad to do a time lapse of that. So when I come back, we'll have the time lapse. I'll post that. I've got to get my Twitter going, so I'm going to do that and send a shout out to Johnny085 and EasyK2100 and Zombie Makerspace. I'm going to check those guys out too. So, thank you very much for coming to the first Print and Play. I think I had 0 viewers the whole time, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. So I'm pretty excited about Multiverse and what we're gonna do here. We're going to do, like I said, all sorts of maker things, fixing things, building games. I love video games. I love drones. I love autonomous vehicles. I love coding and robots. I also love camping, and I love working in the yard and planting and flowers. So we're going to do a wide range of cool stuff here. And I want to thank anyone who was tuning in and I just didn't catch you. And I will see you next time with the Apex Legends Death Box and a lot more Apex Legends video game play. So I just want to make sure all my levels and everything looks good. And the next stream, we're going to go much, much longer, much deeper. So thank you very much. And signing off, I'll see you later. Bye.